In this episode, Ralph and I are going to be breaking down Mandalorian Episode 4 Sanctuary, and that show starts now. Welcome everyone to a new episode of The Mandalorian. This is Chapter 4 Sanctuary. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and of course, my co-host is Ralph Farris from Strange Planet NYC. What's up, Ralph?
Hello, Alex. It's good to be back going through Chapter 4, The Sanctuary, The Mandalorian. Great series so far. Let's get into it.
Yes, but before we do, remember to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and smash that bell button so every time new videos are out Tuesdays and Fridays, you guys will be notified. And remember, like Ralph said last week in the past few other episodes, please, this is a full spoiler review on The Mandalorian Episode 4. Right, Ralph?
That's right. Full spoiler. So if you haven't seen it yet, press that pause button, go watch it, come back. If you haven't seen anything about The Mandalorian yet, what are you doing here? No, you need to go and watch the whole thing and come and watch all of our reviews. So there you go.
That's right. We have a whole playlist from Episode 1 to 4.
That's right. Pretty much. I mean, dag, yeah.
All right, so let's get right into it because this show was 41 minutes. It was the longest of the series so far.
Yeah, it was longer this time.
Yeah, it was longer. But of course, like we always do, Ralph, please let me know your thoughts about Episode 4, The Sanctuary.
You know, I liked it. In the beginning, you kind of see this like small, simple, humble community, and they seem to be shrimp farmers. And then they get attacked by something. You don't know exactly what it is, and then all of a sudden, these creatures come out of the woods. They reminded me of the orcs from Lord of the Rings.
I was gonna say that.
It's like it made me. And I was like, "What are these guys?" And then, so they're being terrorized by them and whatnot. And then the Mandalorian shows up there, and they take him in. They take in Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda again is stealing the show. Everybody's loving Baby Yoda. The kid. When the Mandalorian was fighting that girl, what's her face?
Gina Carano.
Her name? Yeah. When they're on the floor, ready to shoot each other, you see Baby Yoda sipping on a bowl of whatever, just watching the whole thing go down.
Yeah, it was soup.
That was so funny. That was great. That was my favorite part. But they're there, and they end up teaming up to help the community get rid of these bad guys who managed to kind of like sabotage and learn how to operate an abandoned Imperial AT walker, the two-legged ones.
Yeah.
Like the ones from Return of the Jedi, those kinds. And so they've been using that as their main weapon against this poor community that's just trying to make a good living. So they get together, they teach the community how to fight, how to fend for themselves and stuff like that, which I thought was great. And we get to learn a little bit more about Mando, the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
About the customs, about the helmet, about how no one has seen his face since he was a kid. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Which is kind of odd to me, Alex, because one thing I thought about was Sabine from Star Wars Rebels. I'm like, well, I saw her face a lot. Well, everybody saw her face. So what's that about?
But remember, Sabine even said that she abandoned the Mandalorian. Remember? Because that was the whole fight between her and her parents or something like that. Like she put it back on again. But I mean, I guess the true meaning of Mandalorian, I think he said it was like, if you take it off, you can never put it back on. When Gina Carano was like, why don't you just leave with this chick and have a family and live here with, Baby Yoda? And they keep calling Baby Yoda his son, which I thought was funny. I was like, he doesn't have ears like him and he's not green, but I was like, okay.
Well, he was trying to break the ship earlier in the beginning of the show. He's like messing with the buttons.
Like a kid. Yeah, it was so funny. He looked at him and he went, boop. His ears moved. Look. Baby Yoda was really cute. I think that was so cool about this episode, and I don't know, maybe you could agree with me. Did it reminded you of Clone Wars, that episode with Anakin and Ahsoka? They went to that planet to help out these people that didn't know how to defend themselves, and they had to. And I believe Obi-Wan told them not to interfere, but they did anyway to help them out. And then at the end, they made it all better.
Yes, I remember that episode.
So that's what it made me feel like. It reminded me of Clone Wars, and I was like, you know what? This was pretty cool. It felt like a Star Wars cartoon just come to life, and I thought that was really cool. I thought the whole, like you said, the whole backstory between the Mando this time around, I thought it was very well developed, and this is one thing that this show is taking farther than any other of the movies, like the 8 movies so far, because we didn't see 9, is the character development in this show. And I can keep saying this throughout the whole, it looked like I'm going to keep saying the same thing throughout this whole series. The character development in this show is so superior than the movies because it's actually giving you a backstory for these characters.
Yeah.
We didn't get none for Luke. I mean,
well, it kind of gets that way with series more than it ever does with movies.
Yeah, but there's certain movies that you do get like the characters, like you get a little bit more, I guess, because you have more characters to dish out stories. Like Star Wars had a lot of characters they had to show on screen, from Han Solo, Chewbacca to Yoda and the Jedi. So I kind of understand where you're coming from with that. But this one is doing a great job, and I think Jon Favreau, I know I'm saying his name wrong, but Jon, the director, he wrote this one too, and it looks like he's writing almost all this season, and I'm like, you're doing one of the
bring
best.
Bring it on.
Yeah, he's doing one of the best writing I've seen in a Star Wars. I mean, this is the only one so far, because we don't know what Obi-Wan is going to look like.
Right.
But, is it going to be, I don't want to go off topic, but do you feel like when Obi-Wan comes out and you see that first episode, and you go, and let's say the writing is kind of compared to like Mandalorian, you know what I mean? Like people going to compare going, damn, why is Mandalorian so good? And I think it's because Jon knows Mando, like that underground world. I think he had a vision on it with Dave Fergie, the other guy, Dave. I just call him Dave F. They know so much about this world, and you could tell with each episode of Mandalorian that it's so good. And you can't drop. I mean, it's like food. You can't just keep dropping it. You gotta keep eating. That's
like
how
Pringles.
good it is. Yeah, like Pringles. You just keep eating.
I wouldn't. It's hard to not try to compare. And the Obi-Wan series hasn't come out yet. But to be fair about it, I have to say that Obi-Wan is one of those. Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of those original characters that we've known for like over 40 years now, right? So there's kind of a high expectation there. Even when the prequels came out, there was a high expectation of how Ewan McGregor was going to present that character, and he delivered very well. Now you're talking. Now what's interesting about the Obi-Wan series when it comes out is that there's gonna be an expectation of that level still being kept, that standard. The Mandalorian, what's good about it is that it's fresh. It's so new. You never saw this coming. We don't know anything about this character. This is something that is just been created. It was not part of the Star Wars universe until now. What we're watching.
No, I agree.
So it's like, so because of the newness, because of the freshness there's so much to work with. You can do a million things. I mean, my goodness, you got a Baby Yoda walking around with him, and he puts him on the floor, and he just follows him. Like,
I mean, that was so cute. I mean, that whole thing, he like stay here, and then he was like right next to him.
Yeah,
but you're absolutely right. In terms of that, you're absolutely 100% right, because this is a fresh take on a new world and new character like Mando. Yeah. It's like an open canvas that he could just work with paint. And like, you know what, exactly. I could do this. I mean, you're right. Now, Obi-Wan, the only thing that sucks, and I know everybody has this whole thing with George Lucas, like, oh my God, but remember, people, he created the damn thing. So regardless of what you feel, what he did with episode 1, 2, 3, that's his damn movie. So it's like, what you could do better. Baby. Yeah, pretty much. Baby. I hope he has something to say with it. I know he left it, he sold it, but I hope they go back to him just for the 6 episodes and go, what do you think? Because think about it. This is not a fresh character. You said this. This is a character that he created since the first 4, 5, 6. Because
Obi-Wan Kenobi, right?
So it was like you got to go to the man himself and be like, where we're gonna take this show, where we're gonna go with it. But just to give everyone information, who's gonna helm what? Deborah Chow will helm the upcoming live action series with Ewan McGregor. She directed episode 3 of The Mandalorian, which was the action scene. The whole action scene. That was
when he
Deborah
went
Chow.
to save the baby Yoda.
Yes, that was Deborah Chow.
Cool. Nice.
So, and it's going to be written by Housing Amini.
Okay. I know I'm terrible at names too, dude.
I'm very horrible with it. I'm sorry. I'll put everything down on the photo next to us. If I can't say it right, trust me, I'll put the information where you guys can read it and have it like there. So you know who it is.
Yeah, totally.
But I just want to give the information out. So Deborah Chow will be helming all 6 episodes, and she's a great director from what she did with the Mando so far. So, but yeah, in terms of back to the episode, the I kind of knew it was an AT-AT. I didn't know what version it was.
No, they called it something else. Yeah, it was an Imperial something.
Yeah, it was yeah, so that is going to be right there also, the information of what it was, and I'll put the photo with it. But yeah, it was...
Right there.
Yeah, put it right there. But yeah, that machine, I'm going to call it the AT-AT for now, but I know it's not the AT-AT. It was like an Imperial... I forgot what it was.
It's an Imperial Walker.
Yeah, Imperial Walker. But you kind of knew it was because it was in the shadows in the beginning shooting. And I was like, we finally get to see one. But you know what it reminded me of? And I keep saying it again. It reminded me of RoboCop when the T1 when the thing came out and went.
Nah, you know what it reminded me of?
What?
You're gonna laugh. It reminded me of, funny enough, War of the Worlds.
Okay, with Tom Cruise.
No, not even Tom Cruise. Let me tell you, they keep coming up with a new version of this. BBC America is coming out with one where it takes place in the Edwardian era after the close of the Victorian era in the late 1800s. And it happens there in England.
Okay.
This advanced thing like destroying late 19th century England and stuff like that. It's crazy. And it has that same, this big probe just and looking at it. Everybody's looking at it like, what are we going to do? Then it starts shooting everybody and killing everybody. That's what it reminded me of. Oh, geez.
No, I mean, it did look awesome. And one thing they do, it looks really good. And of course, they had to give us a little bit more of Mando's gadgets. Now we got the Predator vision of the Mando helmet.
Yeah, it was like he was looking for a footprint to like.
I was like, oh man, and it was so cool. And you know what they did that was pretty awesome? When he activated it, you see the footprints on the floor with some weird noise in the back, like whoom, whoom. But then when it got out of that vision and he was walking around, you still had it on. So you could tell that he was still rocking it on his helmet, like it was still working. And I was like
Predator.
Man,
we're connecting everything with something, right?
Same movie. I mean,
we got Predator, we got RoboCop, we got
War of the Worlds,
War of the Worlds, and Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, you know what? We can keep going. One day we're gonna be like, that reminded me of Friday the 13th. I'm like, where's that gonna come from? How's that gonna work?
Don't worry, we're gonna find some horror somewhere around.
Oh my God, they should implement a good. There was a novel that came out years ago. It's a Star Wars novel. I think it's under the Legends thing. Okay, because I think it was expanded universe. And it was it's an isolated story. So whatever it's about, I've never read it. I want to read it. But it had to do with stormtroopers in something, maybe a Star Destroyer, I don't know. And something went wrong, and there was some weird experiment, and there were zombies involved.
What?
Yeah, you see the stormtrooper helmet like covered in blood on the floor, and because the zombie got to it, and I'm like, what is this? I want to see that. I don't know why. I never read the book. I want to read it.
No, I mean, like I said, we'll come up with other movies too. I know we did say Iron Man and we did say Superman when they were flying.
Yes.
No, but anyway, back to the episode. Look, the episode was really good. Yeah. I love the human side of the Mando. You could tell that he's very soft, like a muffin.
He's soft like a muffin, man. Like a muffin. That girl, he was falling. What? They weren't falling in love, right?
I think she wanted a piece of Mando.
She wanted a piece. She wanted the Mando.
She wanted Mando.
Like, that's my Mando.
Yeah. But let's talk about Gina Carrero's character, Cara Dune.
Yeah.
Cara Dune was amazing.
She
for this first episode.
It was really great. Let me tell you, there's nothing like you want total equal rights there between men and women in this series. You had it in that fight she had with the Mando in the beginning.
Yeah.
They were like knocking each other out. There was they were both in the same level. And she was good.
Yeah.
She was good. I liked how she mentioned that she was
she was a rebel.
I think she was a drop something for the rebellion.
Yeah.
And how I think she was there at the Battle of Endor.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned Endor. So I thought that was a nice callback. We got some background. Now they said goodbye at the end, and they'll cross paths again at some point. And of course they will. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. I mean, she was very well. Her and Mando had a great chemistry. I was like, man, they should have just went together. I liked her. I thought there was a pretty cool entry to her character. So she's on the run also, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
So you're right. They are going to meet each other down the line. We don't know where in the episode. Most likely maybe 8 when this whole big battle is going to happen between the Mandalorians and the Empire, maybe, to get Baby Yoda. We don't know.
I don't know.
Because
Go
ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, it's funny. You say that, and he was going to leave Baby Yoda there.
Yeah.
He thought he would be safe there. But it turned out not to be the case. Apparently, there was a bounty hunter that had set his sights on Baby Yoda, and if it wasn't for this girl, we wouldn't have any more Baby Yoda.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's funny, my heart was skipping. Like, it was racing because I was like, oh my God, are they going to really do it? Like,
yeah, that would have been out? That would have been painful.
Yeah, it would have been hurt. I think we would have been mourning him in this episode. We were like, Pim.
Shot Baby Yoda down.
Yeah, they killed Baby Yoda, you bastards.
You bastards.
Yeah, and then shoot like 10 blasters in the air.
Yeah, that's...
like how you honor just shoot. But no,
I want to see Baby Yoda just... when it tried to shoot him, that he would freeze the boat.
I think he would have did that because the kids are around him. Yeah, I think he would have did that, like Ray. I mean, not Ray,
like Kylo Ren did in The Force Awakens.
Yeah,
that was a cool new skill. I never saw that before. I was like, oh,
the whole theater went bananas when they saw that. I was like, what the hell?
That was great. That was great.
And when he couldn't do it when Chewie shot him, I was like, oh, come on. Oh, they did it in the beginning, but now in the bridge when Chewie shot you, what's wrong with you? No,
well, he was emotionally distressed. He just killed his dad. Let's cut him a break. Anyway,
did he? Or did he kill his dad?
Oh, come on! Don't start with the freaking theories. We're a few weeks away from this.
Or
come
did
on.
he? He's gonna come out like Han Solo's gonna come out. Hey, that was a good shot, son. That was a
good shot, son. But
the center. If the Emperor Palpatine could survive this fall, I could too.
That's bad.
No, this is joking. Look, we're gonna talk again before we start wrapping this up. We're gonna be doing all Star Wars. Mando's gonna be ending soon. I mean, we got a few more episodes going.
Like 4 more.
Yeah, 4 more to go. We're definitely going to do the Rise of Skywalker event, which is going to break that down, what we saw, what we liked, what we disliked, what we hated, all that in one jam. Another thing I want to do, I just want to tell you guys as a sneaky, I want to do episode 1 through 8 review, breaking down episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, all the way up to episode 8, and then the Rise of Skywalker. We're gonna break that down.
Wow, that's gonna be extended.
Yeah, we're gonna do each film just like how we do Mandalorian. Each episode is gonna focus on the film. So we're gonna give you some fun facts.
I like that. Yeah.
We're gonna give you fun facts. We're gonna give you what we hated about the movie, what we loved about the movie, what characters we despise, and what character we wish lived on in the Star Wars movies. So me and Ralph is going to do that because you guys been asking and saying we're going to do more Star Wars. I'm telling you now, we're going to do more Star Wars. And Ralph loves this Star Wars stuff, and we might bring other friends along the way that read these books and everything. So I'll tell you right now. So we're going to do that also. But all right, to wrap up this episode, Ralph, what memorable what memorable part of the episode did you take from this? Like you went, whoa. Like
my wow in
the
this
wow factor.
My wow factor in this episode was, to be honest with you, it really wasn't very like, oh my God, it was so out there. It really wasn't. My wow factor actually was how they were able to train the community to fight.
Okay.
To teach them how to, to like stand up to these bullies. They were bullies. It's like the classic description of what you do with a bully when the bully keeps messing with you. And how they planned it all, how they were trying to get the walker to step into the water so he could fall.
Yeah.
That was the wow factor for me right there. That they were like this battle sequence that we saw at the end showed how determined this community was willing to go, how far they were willing to go to take back their culture, their community. Real quick.
Okay.
This episode, I don't know what the other 4 episodes are going to hold, but when I was a kid, I was growing up, and there were always these TV shows, Knight Rider or whatever.
The A-Team.
The A-Team. Every episode was like focused on a certain situation that those people would come across.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, so there was like this community or this person they had to help. And this particular episode reminded me of that. It was almost that same kind of thing. Like, okay, off goes the Mandalorian with the Baby Yoda off to another adventure. It was like the Incredible Hulk, Bill Bixby. He would, at the end of the show, ding, 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 and then he would walk on the freaking road, and then next week we saw him in another state. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, my wow factor, it's not action oriented. It was more of the way the camera captured the scene. And my wow factor was when he took off his helmet and he was eating, looking at Baby Yoda with the kids.
Yeah.
I
we were all like...
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, oh my God, they're going to show his face status. Yeah. And I was like, oh no, they didn't, but they did the
the girl was about to take it off. Remember? Yeah. She actually, and he went...
Yeah, he was like, don't even think about it, lady. But yeah, that was my wow factor. I thought
you want some of the Mando.
Yeah, he was like, you want Mando. But I thought that was pretty cool, the way he was at peace. Like, he was just like, let me eat. Because I was wondering, like, does he ever eat? Because we never seen him eat. But now you see he eats human
I thought
food.
There was a little hole there somewhere on the helmet where you could stick a straw or something.
Well, that's what I thought when they order soup. When they order soup for Baby Yoda, I thought he was going to do that. Like, drink. Yeah. No,
I don't know.
But that was my
like in Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Remember, he was trying to drink the coffee cup.
No, but seriously, that was my wow factor of the episode. I mean, of course, the whole episode was amazing throughout. I was like, this is very well shot, very Star Trek Next Generation with that memorable, like not the memorable message.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. It's like another world, another community, another issue. The same thing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The thing that I really want to hone in on, though, as we close this out, is that this episode also showed us that this is a very important thing. The Baby Yoda is the primary focus here. Everybody's looking for this Baby Yoda. They got bounty hunters all over the galaxy trying to hunt this Baby Yoda down. We are yet to find out why. Now, we know the Baby Yoda is strong in the Force. We saw that happen in episode 2. But what really, I mean, okay, so what? There are other Force users. What is it about Baby Yoda? This little creature that makes it different, like from another Force user, like say Luke Skywalker, who's at that time period up and running and fine, right?
Yeah, it's funny. It's something that we keep. I mean, I know you keep saying that you don't want, and I'm like, it feels to me that it's going down that line, and it has to be something that he or that species is related to Yoda somewhere, somehow. That species is super strong with the Force, or he is related somehow to Yoda or something. Because you're right. It's like, why is, out of all the damn species out there that has Manalorians, like, why is this one species so sought after? And it's just so obvious that this dude, I mean, this baby has to be something of Yoda, or it can't be the clone thing, because that would be so like, oh, Lord Almighty.
Well, like I said last time, it was, like I said before, that's too obvious.
Yeah, that's too obvious. Or, again, he could be a relative or something. Like, we all know. I mean, but again, we're 4 episodes out to finding out the truth of this baby Yoda, everyone. But again, like I said, we're going to be wrapping this up. I don't want it to go too long. So please, Ralph, hit us with your channel.
Strange Planet NYC is a channel where we review cool, like, things like this alien from Aliens, Xenomorph. I review models like this and stuff like that. I also do movie reviews, like Star Wars, like Halloween, like horror films in particular. And that's what I'm all about in that channel. So please consider subscribing when you come across it. Strange Planet NYC. Thank you.
All right, and you know what to do here. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and smash that bell button, and turn on those notifications so when new videos are out Tuesdays and Fridays, you guys will be notified. And check out my latest video. It's 21 Bridges. There's no spoilers in there. It's with Chadwick Boseman. You all know him from the Black Panther. He is a New York City detective hunting down cop killers. And that's pretty much why 21 Bridges is, because he closed down the whole island of Manhattan searching for these guys. But check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. But again, guys, like I always say, geek out.